Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we're here to talk about that Xbox showcase. So let's get into it. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to go in order through the show, the things that I really liked, really enjoyed, and really want to talk about here in today's video. Up first, I mean, we got to start with the show opener. I guess technically the show opener was Call of Duty, but the real show opener for me, and for a lot of people, was Doom: The Dark Ages. And this one is wild because in a showcase that is, for me, this showcase is a 10 out of 10. This is the best show, I mean, easily the best show of the showcase season, but this is the best show Xbox has done. And I mean, ever since I started paying attention to the yearly shows, which was, I think, 2015 when they made that back compat announcement, this is the best showcase they've ever done. At least in that time frame for me personally. What's weird about this Doom: The Dark Ages trailer is, in a showcase that is so fucking good, you could make an argument that this is maybe the best trailer they showed, which is nuts considering that, like, there's a barrage of just bangers after this trailer. But this trailer stands out, and it stands out very well. I mean, what can you really say, right? Doom, if you played Doom 2016, if you played Doom Eternal, I love 2016 a little bit more than Eternal. I love both of the games, though. They're amazing. They're incredible. id Software is an amazing developer. Doom: The Dark Ages looks like we're slowing down quite a bit from the whole super extra crazy fast-paced formula that was Doom Eternal, and we're peeling it back kind of to bare bones and building upward from there. And this looks awesome. This just looks awesome, guys. I mean, the chainsaw shield, the fact that it looks like you can control mechs and giant ass robots looks really cool. The enemy designs look really cool. It's the same enemies but new designs, and it looks really sick. I mean, I even saw a part in there where you were flying a dragon, which just, again, it looks metal as fuck, and I love it. But guys, up next, I gotta mention State of Decay 3. Now, I'm gonna be upfront. I'm not particularly hyped for State of Decay 3. I'm not big into State of Decay. I'm not gonna pretend that I am. I never have been. State of Decay 3 made me a little bit interested. You know, I'm somebody who's not into it, but I saw that trailer and I was like, hey, that's definitely a big improvement. I mean, they showed little small gameplay snippets in the trailer, but from a visual standpoint, that game took a massive leap from State of Decay 2 to State of Decay 3. I'm interested in seeing more about it, and because it is in Game Pass, I got nothing to lose. I will absolutely be giving it a shot when it releases. Now, the next hype announcement for me at this show, or the showing, I guess, because we already knew it existed, was Starfield's Shattered Space expansion trailer. This game, listen guys, Starfield last year would have been my game of the year if it weren't for Alan Wake 2 coming out of absolutely nowhere at the last minute and dethroning it. Starfield is amazing. I really love that game. And the fact that we're getting a new huge expansion later this year, I mean, I was excited already. But seeing what it is, that it's tied to House Va'ruun and everything, I'm even more interested. Because I think out of all the different factions, religions and everything, and Starfield, the base game, House Va'ruun is really probably the most interesting, at least to me personally, because the whole stigma against Va'ruun or House Va'ruun is that it's a bunch of bad guys and everything. And I mean, you know, they seem a little bit shady in this trailer, to be quite honest with you. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm interested to see a story kind of centered around that. Also, I think we saw some new weapons and everything in that trailer. They also announced an update for Starfield dropping today as I'm recording this, and my video will be out tomorrow. So yesterday, as of when this video drops, Starfield's new update will have been out, and it brings with it, I believe, mod support, or at least creation support for Starfield on console, which is, you know, a variation of different mods and everything that you can download. Some of them are free. I know some of them you need to have creation tokens or whatever they're called, but if you got the premium edition of the game, I think it gifts you 1,000 free creation tokens. But there are a ton of different things in there that you can get that are absolutely free. Definitely worth checking out if you're looking to add things to your Starfield playthrough and Starfield experience and whatnot. The only thing I'm a little bit bummed about is we didn't get a date. We didn't get a date for Shattered Space, and that's kind of a theme throughout this show. We'll talk about it as we go, but we did not get a date for Shattered Space expansion. But other than that, it looks awesome. Coming later this year. That's all I need to know. I'm really hyped. And I'll tell you what else. Speaking of Bethesda, while we're on the whole Starfield thing, let's shift quickly to Fallout, because that's the next thing they showed at this Xbox showcase. And I know the whole speculation was, oh, maybe we'll get a Fallout 3 remaster or a new Fallout announcement or something like that. I gotta be honest, I didn't really expect a new Fallout announcement. I was kind of hoping for a Fallout 3 remaster. I was certainly hoping for that. Hoping, whatever you want to say, for a Fallout 3 remaster. But what we got was some Fallout 76 stuff. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm someone who enjoys Fallout 76. Genuinely. I think it's come a long, long way since its launch. I mean, its launch was rough, but I mean, to where we are now, that game is phenomenal and it has a ton of content. So, as someone who is into Fallout 76, I gotta be honest, every year when they show it, my brain just kind of shuts off. But the one thing that got my attention with this whole Fallout 76 showpiece was the fact that in 2025, they will be adding the ability to play as a ghoul. And that gives me hope for Fallout 5. Possibly, maybe, I'll be able to play as a ghoul in Fallout 5. That would be fucking awesome. Up next is a game, I believe it was called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, this game, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The style of it, the whole turn-based, sort of action gameplay, it's not my thing. But I would be lying if I said that I'm not interested in this. Just the presentation of this game, I mean, visually it looks stunning. It looks very, very stunning, just from a visual aspect. It says it's on Unreal Engine. I would assume Unreal Engine 5. I mean, it looks incredible. It is coming to Game Pass 2025, so there's that. There's no, I don't have to buy it day one. I can try it for myself. If I like it, then hey, maybe I'll buy it down the line. I'm interested to see more about this. I was actually streaming this. I deleted the stream since then. I only wanted to do it live. But I was streaming our reaction. Me and my buddy Mike and Vinny were streaming our reactions to this here on the channel. And I think it was Mike, or somebody in the chat might have said it, that it reminds them a little bit of old school Final Fantasy. And as somebody, from the outside looking in, I saw people play Final Fantasy before, and especially old school Final Fantasy. I can see what they're talking about with that. The thing that has me interested, because I don't like Final Fantasy, I don't like that whole world, it doesn't grab my attention. But something like this seems really dark, really kind of gritty. This certainly grabs my attention, and I'm interested to give it a shot whenever it does come to Game Pass. I'm going to keep my eye out for more on this game for sure. And up next, a game I'm really, really excited for. I'm glad it got shown here. Is Compulsion Games with South of Midnight, because I mean, ever since they first showed South of Midnight, just the art style really, really captured my attention and everything. Also, it's very rare that we get games that are rooted in deep South lore. Like, that's not something that happens super often, especially from a fantasy aspect. That's not something we get very often. So when that premise was presented with South of Midnight, I was already intrigued, right? Now, fast forward to this year, here we are watching this trailer, and they cut to gameplay. I mean, the animation itself is beautiful to me. I really like it. But then they cut to gameplay. I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm really proud of Compulsion Games for how good this looks. I'm someone who's always said Compulsion, I don't think it's their most talented studio at Xbox, but I think it's the biggest wild card. I think they're the weirdest, the wackiest. I mean, outside of maybe Double Fine, Right. They have a streak to them that's like you don't know what you're gonna get, and sometimes that can be bad. And I think in the case of South of Midnight, it can be really good. Because this game looks phenomenal. They showed a little bit of combat, looks really really cool. There's a flying mechanic in the game that also looks awesome, and like I said, the art style just phenomenal. I really really can't wait to play this. It is coming 2025 according to this trailer here, so maybe we'll see some more of this at next year's Xbox Developer Direct. I got my fingers crossed for that for sure, but I cannot wait to play this game when it comes out, guys. And now we're going to fast forward a little bit to a little bit later in the show with Perfect Dark. Guys, I've been skeptical about Perfect Dark for a few years, ever since they, announced that like more than half of the initiative team left and Crystal Dynamics came in. And it's not because of Crystal Dynamics, because I'm a huge fan of Crystal Dynamics. I really, really enjoy their games. I think they're a super underrated studio that doesn't get the credit that they deserve. But what kind of worried me was the whole most of the initiative leaving, right? Well, that was like the big news thing. So when we started hearing rumors that Perfect Dark would be at the showcase, I kind of sat back in my chair. I said, you know what? Okay, it's going to be at the showcase. I wonder what they'll do. Not only did we get gameplay, this might be my most hype moment of the show. We were live streaming this, like I mentioned earlier, and somebody in my chat said, it looks like sci-fi Dishonored. And after watching that trailer a few times, I mean, especially even that initial time watching that trailer live, I had this thought in my head of, wow, this looks like an immersive sim. And that got me really, really excited. Just the way that you have different gadgets, the way that she like flicked on the goggles and she could see thermal through things. Like, it reminded me of the whole Blink, not Blink from Dishonored. What's it called? I forget the name of it. From Dishonored 1, where you would hit the button and then like you could see through walls and everything. It reminded me of that from Dishonored, and it was just cool to see. It was really cool to see. I don't know what I expected from the gameplay of Perfect Dark, but I didn't expect that. And it was a really, really pleasant surprise. I can't wait to see more about this. I don't believe we got a date for this. Well, I know we didn't get a date, but I don't even think we got a release year for this. So who knows when it comes out. But I went from being skeptical to, okay, now I'm hyped again. Now I'm hyped. This was my most hyped moment of the show, quite honestly. And that's saying something considering how I felt about Perfect Dark going into this show. So definitely really excited to see more about it. But let's get on to the next topic. I should also just briefly mention Diablo, Vessel of Hatred, because that looked awesome. Granted, it's Blizzard's CGI and everything, the trailers. I don't know who's doing that. I mean, I don't know. These people all need a raise perpetually because every CGI trailer they release is just next level. Like, it's unreal. It looks amazing. Really dark, really twisted trailer. I mean, it is Diablo. You come to expect it. But I'm interested to see more about that. Comes out later this year. Definitely will be checking that out for sure. But I wanted to give it a little brief mention here in the video. We also got another look at Fable, which was pretty interesting. Not a huge like gameplay trailer, although it was very much like the last trailer they showed last year, where it was, here's this person talking, and in between them talking, we're going to cut in a few snippets of gameplay. And that's exactly what this trailer was. Again, much like last year, Fable looks really awesome. I can't wait to see more about it. I also believe for Fable, they announced that it would be coming 2025, which definitely interested if that's the case, because I imagine we'll see that at Xbox's Developer Direct later next year. So definitely looking forward to finding out more about Fable. Then we're going to fast forward a bit more to Indiana Jones. There's not much to say about this, quite frankly. I love the trailer. I've been excited for this ever since they showed that first trailer. I love Machine Games. I think they're a very underrated studio. I'm not a big indie fan, I can't lie to you guys, but the things I have seen, it seems like they nailed the tone of Indiana Jones. The humor and everything, also the sense of adventure, which is prevalent in both trailers we've seen so far. Looks really, really good. I can't wait to see more on it. It does say it's coming out this year. So again, it's one of those games we didn't see an official date for it, but they did reassure us it is coming out this year. So we will see what happens going forward. We got to see a little bit more of Avowed, my personal most hyped game for this year. I cannot wait to play Avowed. I know Obsidian's absolutely going to crush it. Can't wait to play it. Unfortunately, much like Indiana Jones, we didn't get an official date for the game. We did get, again, a reassurance that it is coming this year. But it did look much improved from the trailer we saw at Xbox's Developer Direct, and certainly from the trailer we saw last year at last Xbox Showcase. So definitely very, very optimistic for Avowed right now. Another game from the showcase that I thought looked pretty interesting is actually from the developers who made, I believe, Sniper Elite and Nazi Zombie Army, which I know my buddy Hard Days Mike loves both of those games. It's called Atomfall. It is coming to Game Pass in 2025. This kind of reminds me, I said it while we were live streaming the show, it reminds me a little bit of Atomic Heart. And as you guys know, if you've seen me talk about Atomic Heart, I should say, I loved Atomic Heart. I really, really loved Atomic Heart. I want to see more on this game. Plus, I'm really thrilled that it's coming to Game Pass. Again, one of those games I can try for myself. If I like it, I'll probably end up buying it just to support the developers. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty awesome game. We also got a little look at Stalker 2 coming later this year, September 5th of this year. Very, very excited. I was very excited for Stalker 2 before I saw this trailer, but after seeing the trailer, man, the gunplay looks awesome. The reload animations look really, really cool. The game itself, I mean, just visually, man, this game looks stunning. Like I mentioned, the combat looks like it's going to be pretty damn fun. The world of Stalker 2 just looks super dark, super grim and everything. I'm interested to get into it. I actually need to go back and play that Stalker collection that came out. I bought it, but I need to play some more of that because this definitely puts me in the mood for it, seeing this new trailer for Stalker 2. So I'm definitely interested from that aspect. And we have an official date, like I said, September 5th of this year. Looking forward to that. And I'm going to definitely try to grab one of the special editions. Guys, just really quick, I want to try to support this studio. Whatever your thoughts and feelings on politics and whatever, I'm not doing any of that here on the channel. Don't want to get into it. Whatever your thoughts and feelings are, just the fact that this studio was able to make the game that we saw today under the stress that they're under the pressure that they are under in that part of the world, is just amazing. And they deserve all the credit that they can possibly get. And I'm going to try to do my part and support them by buying one of the special editions for the game. I'm really excited for it. All right, up next, we have some hardware announcements from Xbox, but it wasn't what anybody was expecting. Even myself, I got kind of carried away. I kind of assumed, just based off the reporting that, well, of course, we're going to see the new Xbox handheld at the showcase. We didn't see the Xbox handheld. What we got, however, was that rumored, or that leaked, I should say, white Xbox Series X, all digital Series X, looking pretty nice, looking pretty sleek. I do like the look of that console myself. We've also got a 1 terabyte Series S incoming, a white Series S, unlike the black 1 terabyte Series S. We've got that incoming. And then we've also got a special edition Xbox Series X, 2 terabytes. It's the Galaxy Black edition. Has like a green stand on the bottom of it, but the console itself is like black with these green specks on it, like a galaxy, like the stars in a galaxy. It looks pretty cool. Now, my only gripe with this is I believe the special edition is $600. I'm not too sure about the Series S and Series X digital. But realistically, I think that special edition at max should be $500. I think we're far enough into the generation to lower the prices full stop on these consoles, and that includes PlayStation as well. I think we're far enough into the generation where it's like, okay, the Series S, I think perfect spot for that Series S, that 1 terabyte Series S, would be make that $200, especially coming up to the holiday later this year. Make that $200, make that Series X digital. I don't know, $350. I think is a good price for that. Make that special edition Series X. Ideally, $399, $450. At max, $499 would be where I would put that at. But the consoles themselves, I mean, the Series S is one of the better looking consoles, period, in my opinion. Series X, white Series X, all digital, looks pretty sleek. And I do like the look of that 2 terabyte Series X. Now, up next was the closer for the Xbox show. And we went into the Call of Duty Direct afterwards. But the closer for the main show was Gears. Now, I think we all assumed it would be Gears. Gears was heavily rumored for this showcase. The problem, not really a problem if you ask me, but the thing that surprised people, myself included, was the fact that we all expected Gears of War 6. Well, that's not what we got. Instead, what we got is confirmation that this is a mainline game from the Coalition. I mean, the Gears of War account tweeted out, this is the next mainline Gears of War game. It is a prequel to even Gears of War 1. It's called Gears of War E-Day, and it features a young Marcus Phoenix and a young Dom. And this looks awesome. I mean, I expected to see Gears here, right? I think everybody did, like I said. But just the fact that it wasn't Gears 6, and the fact that instead of Gears 6, we get a prequel to Gears 1. They even had a nod to the original Gears of War trailer, which I remember seeing that original Gears of War trailer and being like, this looks pretty cool back in the day, right? They had a nod to that trailer with the song from the trailer, the Mad World trailer. They had that song. And it was really, really good. The trailer featured Marcus Phoenix in a fight with a Locust just crashing through this wall. And the Locust is beating the shit out of Marcus Phoenix, right? He's cooking Marcus at this point, right? And that fight looked really, really intense. Like, it really emphasized the whole life or death situation, right? Marcus Phoenix, obviously, the badass that he is, shoots the thing in the head, its head explodes, and then that's the end of the trailer. Or there's a little bit more. We got to see Dom in the trailer as well. But man, I'm kind of blown away. Outside of Perfect Dark, Doom, I think I would put this second or third. Either Doom is second or this is second. I can't really tell you for sure right now. But for me, it goes Perfect Dark, Gears or Doom, and then Doom or Gears as my 1, 2, and 3 for this show. I had no expectation of seeing a prequel to Gears of War. I fully expected Gears 6, and we're getting something that just looks so much darker than the last couple Gears of War games have looked. And then finally, we end the showcase with Call of Duty Direct, or Black Ops 6 Direct. And I was excited for Black Ops 6, you know? Treyarch Call of Duties aren't my favorite. Infinity Ward Call of Duties typically are my favorite. But there's been a lot of hype for Black Ops 6. A whole lot of hype. And then when they announced that it was coming to Game Pass day one, which means I don't have to worry about buying another Call of Duty like I do every year, which is a relief just from a financial perspective. It's nice to not have to worry about, I got to drop for sure $70 this time of the year again every year. It's nice knowing that, right? But once they announced that, I started to get a lot more interested, right? And then they showed this Call of Duty Direct. Now, the big thing from this Call of Duty Direct that I think a lot of people who play Call of Duty would focus in on is this whole new Omni direction movement, or this Omni movement that they're calling it for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, to just clarify what that is really quick, basically, it seems like a small feature or a small detail, but it can really change gameplay. Because what this means now is typically in Call of Duty, You do a tactical sprint or a regular sprint forward, and then when you hit the B button, you kind of slide forward or you dive forward, whether you hold B or press B. With Call of Duty Black Ops 6, what's interesting is that now when I run forward, I can turn and I can dive sideways. Like I can turn, aim my gun that way while I'm diving. I can turn, aim my gun that way while I'm sliding. I can also run side to side, as in I can hit the sprint button and I can run side to side. I can run forward, as you might expect, obviously, and then I can sprint backwards or run backwards, jog backwards, whatever you want to call it. I can do all of these things in all of these different directions, which is nice because it adds a level of realism. So it's cool to see that kind of revamped movement and everything. I'm interested to see how the community reacts to that. But that was the Xbox and Call of Duty showcase for this year. Like I said at the top of the show, this was the best show, not just of this season. I mean, I think it goes without saying this was the best showcase this season. But this was the best show Xbox has put on and close to a decade. I mean, the only reason I say only a decade is because I wasn't really paying attention to showcases every year until like 2015. So I don't know what happened in 2014. I don't know what happened in 2013. Well, I think everyone knows what happened in 2013. I don't know what happened in the years before that. All I know is what happened from 2015 until now. And in that time frame, this was the best show they've ever done. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. They absolutely crushed it. Tons of first party stuff, a good amount of third party stuff. We ended the show with Call of Duty. We got Gears E-Day. Perfect Dark looks awesome. We saw Doom. We got to see Compulsion Games with South of Midnight. I mean, there was a lot in this showcase, and a lot of it just looked really, really awesome. So they crushed it. They absolutely crushed it. I give this show a 10 out of 10. I think last year I gave it a 9 out of 10. This year is a full-fledged 10 out of 10. And I don't know how they're going to top it next year, but that's a good problem to have, quite frankly. Is when you have a showcase so good, you're wondering how the hell are you going to top that next year. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm looking forward to it. But this year was absolutely awesome. Leave it in the comments below, though. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the showcase? Your top 5 from this showcase. Leave a like if you liked the video. And if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because that helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel. And it helps promote me, and the algorithm helps push the videos out to way more people. And I always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.